What have they done about it? Have the Democrats held hearings on this that have changed it? Not to my knowledge. Leahy talked about having hearings. Maybe there have been secret hearings, but I haven't heard about them. Totally unconstitutional. How many people knew about those? Well, some leaked to the New York Times in 2004, October, before the election. And at the request of the White House, the Times held that secret for another year. And they finally came out with it about the illegal wiretapping, because the guy who did the story, James Risen, was about to bring out a book and scoop them and tell that the Times had had this for a year and hadn't done anything. So they brought it out. A year later, well, that's good, they brought it out. But if they'd done it before the election, the president couldn't have lied himself into that second election, by-election. It would be that was, remember, a very close election, as we recall, in Ohio and elsewhere. And if it had come out that the president had been lying to Congress, he said in so many words that Congress, we do not overhear anyone without a warrant. That is what the Constitution demands. It is what the law demands. We don't do it. Total lie. And the head of NSA, the same. Total lie. Close election. Hard to believe he would have been elected if the Times had told the truth a year earlier when they had it. Okay, so what I'm saying is, I broke that oath. Everybody working for Bush and Cheney who knows better is breaking their oath every day. The Congress people who go along with it are breaking the same oath that they take to support and defend the Constitution. As I said to this person on the Hill, who was a Democrat, the Democrats in this Congress have failed to protect, to obey their oath, to support and defend this Constitution against this rogue administration. I told him what I've been thinking for the last few weeks only. A coup has occurred. I've been thinking for quite a while that the next 9/11 would lead essentially to a coup, to a change in our form of government. It actually, the first 9/11 did that to a large extent, but it's got a long way to go. If we don't hold our congresspeople to a higher standard than they exhibited yesterday and every day before that. For example, Nancy Pelosi puts up for a vote a bill on surveillance, amending the FISA Act, and essentially giving the president free rein, NSA, to listen to practically anybody. In theory, there's some limitations, but no practical limitations. It's all up to his judgment as to what he obeys. And anyway, his signing statements, he always says, I'll obey what I feel like. I'll carry out what I feel like. That's not the Constitution he swore to uphold, to preserve, protect, and defend. I think this president and Cheney love this country as much as I do, or anybody. But they don't believe in the Constitution as was written. They do not believe in being faithful, full faith and honor, duty to uphold that Constitution as they've sworn to do, because they believe in a different Constitution. I even looked up today what the Confederacy Constitution was. It was interesting how it differed. There have been people in this administration, Ashcroft for one, who clearly admire the Confederacy above all, and he's not alone. Remember Lott lost his job as head of the Senate when he had said that if Thurmond, states' rights, anti-civil rights person, had actually won in, was it 1948, when he went, what a better country this would be. Well, yes, it would be a confederacy. And so there's more than one person who believes exactly that. You have to be Southern on the whole to believe exactly that. But on terms of a unitary executive with, quote, inherent powers of the commander-in-chief, the president is commander-in-chief in wartime, endless wartime. Those powers are unlimited. That's the single branch of government, not three branches, equal and independent. That's a government without checks and balances with respect to Congress and the courts, without the Bill of Rights, basically, free from the executive, without Article 1, Section 8, giving them more powers to Congress. go through the Constitution. It's not the Constitution. I happen to believe the Constitution is worth people's lives and sacred honor. Not because it's an American tradition, and it's something we like to think about on the 4th of July, which we don't. We think about the flag and the Declaration of Independence, but, well, and the Constitution hadn't been written on the day we commemorate the 4th of July, but not because it's just been around for a long time and we like traditions, because they really had some very good ideas. They had some bad concessions. The Constitution wasn't perfect. It had to be amended, first with the Bill of Rights. They had to amend the parts on slavery. It endorsed slavery. Women didn't have the vote. It wasn't perfect, but on certain things they invented institutions that were marvelous and that probably could not get a majority vote today. But that's not just today. How long has it been since the Bill of Rights could get a majority vote in this country? It might be close to 200 years. Most people don't know what it is and they don't believe in it very much. And that's why they put it as amendments to the Constitution. They put it beyond the impulses of a majority. In theory, that is, the Constitution, you don't change the Fourth Amendment about no warrantless wiretaps, no warrantless search and seizure by majority vote. And of course, there wasn't even a vote on it for 5 years. It takes 2/3 vote to rescind the Fourth Amendment of both houses of Congress, and then, what is it, 2/3 or something of the state legislatures, I've forgotten exactly, a lot of them, they put it beyond the majority because they didn't trust the majority to preserve those rights in thick and thin and in crises. And the president has just waved them away, basically, in this alleged crisis, which is a real danger. Terrorism is a danger. 9/11 did happen. Some people have theories about who did it and so forth. I, on the whole, don't share those theories. So it did happen. It could happen again. They can't stop it. I think if it happens again under this president and with this Congress, there will be a second coup that will complete the task of the first. And the Constitution will be suspended, probably formally suspended. Or maybe not, just ignored. And no Bill of Rights, basically. Detention camps for Middle Easterners, and and a few others. And I mean hundreds of thousands of people. And I'll tell you my guess on that. Somebody said to me just yesterday, why would they bother? They're not getting any trouble from the people. You know, why bother with detention camps? Why bother will do what Hitler did when he banned the Communist Party after the Reichstag fire? I agree, why bother banning the Democrats? I can't think of a reason to ban the Democrats. But you don't have an opposition party in this country. But on these subjects. And I'll tell you my own guess, which is a sad statement about a lot of Americans. I think they'll do it because it will be popular to do it after the next 9/11. And they will do it because they expect it to be popular and they'll be right. Will it be protecting us? Then why hasn't it been done 5 years ago? Because it won't protect us. But will it look as though it's a nice, active, tough program after the next 9/11? Yeah, people say, yeah, why didn't we do it earlier? Maybe we wouldn't have had this act. Put them away. They're only Middle Easterners. And a few others, troublemakers, un-Americans. So I think we're in danger. We're in a crisis. And the point I was making on the Hill, the point I make to all citizens is this. It is not natural for congresspeople or officials to risk or give up their careers. And for the officials to face prosecution and to break their promise of secrecy.